love, love. I welcome you. Blessings be upon you. Super appreciative that you're here. You could be anywhere on the internet, but you're here with me, and I'm super grateful. I'm not going to ask you to like. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I'm not going to do anything but just earn your time. Now, listen, we got a lot to get to, and I want to get to it fast. I don't want to hold you up. And what I have to say is, I think it's important. For the last few days, I've been, listening and watching, and what I'm seeing is, alpha this, integrity that, uh, who is a man and who is not. And one of the main things that I realize more than anything is that how you grow up and the traumas that you experience, man, do they have an effect on you. And it's really, really important to make sure that you're not flocking to people who don't give a damn about you. See, this is what I want you to know about me. I've been very, very fortunate, and I do have a successful business. And this is a hobby because what I have seen in the comment section of multiple videos is that traumas have chased some young men down so hard that people that they put their faith into, they shouldn't, because they didn't have a role model to teach them otherwise. And I have had my share of traumas, and I'm going to keep using that word because that word is really important. But at the same time, I had a lot of good men in my life who, through trial and error, were able to give me the wisdom of their life experiences to push me to the place where I am now. And so I want to be able to help somebody else. This is not about, liking and subscribing. This is just about understanding that there's more to life than liking and subscribing. You feel me? We keep hearing that word alpha male, and we keep hearing, all these high value phrases that are being tossed around. But at the end of the day, I don't hear anybody talking about, the things that really matter, like family, community, uh, building relationships, interpersonal relationships with men and with women, and understanding your awareness of your surroundings, of how you affect others and how others affect you. And we got all these young boys on the internet, and they might not have had no daddies from some of the comments that I'm reading. And they might not have had no uncle, no grandpop to really pull them in. And, they look into these YouTube stars and they're caught up. And they think that if they do what this guy says and do what this guy does on camera, that they too will have that type of success, not realizing that, hey buddy, they feeding off you. They eating off you. And they living off you, and they giving you this fake picture because they know that's what you want to hear, and they selling you a pipe dream, and nothing that they do or say on that show is real, because if they did it out in the real world, three things are going to happen. Number one, any woman of value is going to reject them. Number two, any man of integrity is going to distance himself from them. And then number three, the universe itself is going to continuously reject them. And that's a fact. Some universal laws cannot be subverted, and they cannot be mitigated. And these are all things that I learned from my daddy, from my grandfather, Lord rest his soul, and from my uncle. And I'm grateful because I have them to go back to when I am stuck in certain situations. Now, we watched all the videos with Abba. We watched all the videos with Preach. Shout out to them and the things that they have accomplished. I do believe that they're men of integrity, and I'm super grateful that they're in the manosphere space. But I see a lot of other videos, and this is not to take a shot at Myron. I just think that he represents just a culture. It's just a culture of, let me build a space that looks really cool. Let me get some pretty women on here. Let me trash them. Let me get my followers up. And then I can basically create a life that eats itself. And that's not what I want for you guys. Some of the most amazing content that I've come across has only had maybe 10 or 12 likes and maybe 100 views, but they were saying something that had substance in it, and I think that's kind of what we've gotten away from. And I'm not going to just shit on people who are following these guys like Fresh and Fit, because it's unfair, because a lot of us um, have experienced things in life that we felt were unfair, and sometimes if you don't have that man in your life to let you pretty much know, like, yo, listen, life ain't fair, and what you do with the unfair portions of life is what makes you a man. If you don't have a man in your life teaching you that, showing you that, pushing you back to the right path, chastising you, working you over, refining you, then you get the subculture that you get, where people say and do nasty things. Now, men who are alpha, men who are predators in the most natural sense, they do not have to promote their alphaness. A lion does not have to tell you that he is a lion. There is no reason for him to tell you that he is a lion. The only thing that is important is that when he is hungry, it's important not to get in his way. And that has been established through decades, centuries, and millennia of basically history. Now, for those who are lions in their own right, they don't need to tell people that they are lions. The people who come into contact with them become very aware very quickly. And so when you don't have that in your life and you've never saw that, what you do is you believe that the lions in the zoo are real lions, and they're not. And what's really, really important right now is that the internet, that the YouTube, that the manosphere, that the podcast, that those real men take the time to grab a hold some of these young guys and some of these old guys too, and really say, hey, listen, this is not what we do as men. This is not how we lead a household. This is not how we talk to women. This is not how we raise our children. This is not how we build a business. This is not how we interact with people in general, because we're above this. And the more we do that, the more that the other channels will fall by the wayside. Now, I thought this was impertinent. I thought this was important because, after reading so many comments for so many days, man, you get exhausted. You're like, this is all that the men have to offer on the entire internet? This is madness. And so we can easily blame Flesh and Fit, but all they did was expose it for what it was. So, what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks and then over the next few months is doing my absolute best to sit down and have these conversations with you and let you know how important it is for men to stand up, how important it is for us to talk to women, no matter the rejection, no matter what happens. It's important for us to just go out and put our best foot forward. And that these labels that we keep tossing around are madness, because at the end of the day, those those gentlemen who are with beautiful women on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, they understand that there is some sort of transaction happening, because that's the way life works. Those men who are building businesses and empires, they understand that there will be issues that will arise, and how you deal with people and those issues will basically become your legacy. And so what I want you to take away from this video is that, number one, the internet is not your friend, and that most of the guys on the internet are faking it. And that if you listen with your ears open long enough and hard enough, you'll see who the real is and you'll see who the fake is. And I'm going to be coming at you as much as I can. We're going to be having these conversations as often as possible, because I think that this is important. Listen, my name is Mac. I'm grateful. You have a blessed one.